This morning, there are new details about the deaths of two young girls in New Jersey. It happened earlier this week. Maria Niotis and Isabella Salas, both 17 years old, were hit by a black SUV while riding on an electric bike on Monday. A teenage boy has been charged with murder with operating that vehicle, and there are now claims that he was stalking one of the girls. Lilia Luciano has more.
I'm not standing here today just as a mother, but as Maria's mother.
On Thursday night, the family of Maria Niotis gathered to remember her life.
She had a laugh that could soften the hardest days and a heart that cared deeply for everyone around her.
According to the Union County Prosecutor's Office, Niotis and fellow 17-year-old Isabella Salas were riding an e-bike around a quiet residential area of Cranford, New Jersey, just before 5:30 p.m. Monday afternoon, when they were struck by a car. Law enforcement says after hitting the girls, the driver did not stop and eventually ditched this black SUV. He was later located and taken into custody. Police charged him on Wednesday with 2 counts of first-degree murder. CBS News has identified the suspect as 17-year-old Vincent Battiloro. Friends and relatives of the victims say he was known to the 2 girls, claiming one of them filed for a restraining order against him after he stalked her.
She made complaints and nothing was done. It's just a tragedy. It's just a tragedy.
In a joint statement, the families of the 2 girls called the suspect a coward, claiming he had been planning an attack against Niotis for months.
You wanted to make the world more beautiful, and my darling, you did, just by being in it. And I promise you, your light will never go out.
We reached out to both the Cranford Police Department and the Union County Prosecutor's Office about the alleged restraining order against the suspect, but have not received further information. When asked if they plan to try the suspect as a minor or an adult, the prosecutor's office said that they are exploring all legal options.
All right, Lilia, thank you very much.
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And there you hear about an incident that happened this Monday, where 17-year-old Vincent Battiloro mowed over 2 17-year-old girls. One of them, it is alleged, was his ex-girlfriend who didn't want to date him anymore. And it is reported as well that he is an avid Charlie Kirk and Trump follower. And so since they didn't show you his picture, I am going to show you his picture here. Now, this picture is from a still shot of a YouTube video that he did just hours after he killed these girls. Now, police originally said that, they arrested him shortly after, but he was not arrested until Wednesday, and that is why he had the ability to make that post. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of that post and see how, as usual, he is going with the mental health play and claiming to be the victim. And these videos are in fair use for literary and commentary purposes only. Just watch.
I've been through way too much. I'm a nice kid. I'm 17 years old with a good family by my side. And these allegations that have been ruining everything is a shame. In a neighboring town, unfortunately, 2 girls were killed in a hit-and-run crash. Now, there has been a lot of misinformation going on over the internet. But I will say this. I wish my sincerest condolences to those 2 girls lost in that tragic accident. Okay? It is an absolute unfortunate situation, and there's more to the story that you're not getting. Making threats against my family will not be tolerated. My cousin has received hateful messages over social media about this whole spiel, and he's had to unfollow me on everything because of this whole drama. I have built a great following on TikTok with 39,000 followers that I have grown since 2020. And I want to thank each and every single one of y'all. I love you all to absolute death. This will be in the hands of Jesus. Everything will be okay. I've been bullied, ridiculed, and stuff over false allegations, okay? Over this whole thing about things that have happened in the past. I really think you all should be a lot nicer to each other. If anything happens, I'm going to give you all some advice, all right? If you get bullied and ridiculed in school about, stuff that people hate you, I would tell your counselor immediately. And, before the gets out of hand, you got to address all these things, because I'll tell you what, the amount of bullying that I've been put through in the past has been absolutely absurd. I've been through way too much. I'm a nice kid. I'm 17 years old with a good family by my side.
Okay, and so we'll stop it right there. Now, mind you, he's making that video almost mocking the death of these young girls, saying there was a tragic incident and I offer my condolences. Almost very Charlie Kirk-like. He's killed these girls. Now he's talking about it's an unfortunate situation, then deflecting into how he was bullied and he was a nice kid and there's misinformation that you're not getting about this situation, when all the while people are knowing that he did it, because he was alleged to have stalked the girl, one of the girls, I think Maria, for 3 months. He would sit outside of her house, so much so that she had to take a restraining order. And as you heard in one of the news articles, that they complained, but nobody ever did anything. And the reason why is because he is the nephew of the Westfield police chief. His uncle, Chief Christopher Battiloro, condemned his own nephew in a social media post this week as he attempted to distance himself from the ugly situation. Now, this cop who probably knew and probably helped his nephew avoid, getting those charges. You heard him talking about, well, these allegations are causing me harm. Those are probably the allegations of, him harassing and, messing with that girl. He even threatened one of her new boyfriends. And, there was a text from one person to him saying, look, the school already told you to leave the girl alone. And so this guy evidently has that entitlement that, I'm white and I say so, that I can do what I want regardless of the consequences. And the only thing I have to do is play mental health. Now we saying, okay, if you've been bullied or, tell your counselor immediately, I've been going through all of these things and, I have a nice family and I'm such a nice kid. That is the normal playbook. When white people want to do certain things, evil things, then they always revert to mental health, or I'm a nice guy. I just, just please forgive me murdering 2 people. All throughout that post, he continued to talk about, him being bullied. I really think there needs to be more done to address mental health in the state, because, I've been bullied, ridiculed, and stuff over false allegations about things that have happened in the past. There's more to the story. It'll come out in the future. The amount of bullying I've been put through in the past has been absolutely absurd. But again, if I do end up taking a hiatus, I'm telling you guys why. So there he's talking to his social media following. Whoever is following this guy evidently had the viewpoints of this. And this speaks to a larger narrative of, once again, if the white man saying, okay, well, look, if I can't have you, no one will. And the fact that they allow him to stay out long enough to make this video was absolutely sickening. Being able to mock those young ladies and their families, saying, well, this is a situation and it's, very unfortunate, and offering my condolences when he was the one who did it. And so for all of you guys, out there worshiping Charlie Kirk and his ideology, this is what is a byproduct of that, not calling out, some of the things that he said, what was truly, inhumane it leads to this, where, people have that, oh, forget that. But what about this? That's what he's saying. Forget the fact that I kill people, but what about mental health? I've been bullied. And so that is the byproduct of, when you try to justify people in certain terms and not look at the totality of what they're saying. You got spawns like this guy, but hopefully they will try him as adult. They said they don't know yet, and they're considering all of those options. This kid should be going away for life. It's definitely, obviously, he has some mental health problems. Let me show you again, because of course they didn't show you his face in the article, in the news videos that you saw. So this is 17-year-old Charlie Kirk Trump follower Vincent Battiloro, the nephew of a police chief, somebody Battiloro, and was allowed to continuously stalk these girls until he ended up taking their life. And so we're going to keep an eye on this, as well as many other stories. And if you do like this content, hit that subscribe button right up under the video. It helps the videos to get more exposed and be prevalent in the internet space more frequently and regularly. Also, I am opening up, or have opening up, the join button. So if you want to join the channel to get access to exclusive videos, uncensored videos, drawings, prizes, and other content, please feel free to join that as well. But I certainly thank you guys for liking, sharing, commenting, watching, subscribing, all of those things. Y'all see the number as well, 919-587-7782. And as always, I pray you have peace and blessings. Scripture says all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop.
Let's go, Rich. Let's go. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing.
Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now for too long.